Well, it is my pleasure to introduce District Governor Renee Brouse. She is the yellow Jeep driving, outdoor loving, inspirational, and empathetic leader. Sorry about that. As a Rotarian for 15 years, Renee has worn many hats, serving as club president, assistant governor, vision facilitation, and Pacific Northwest Pets team member, District 5100 trainer, and many more, all while raising two children, Brittany and Brandon, who are now grown and starting families of their own. Renee and her husband Rob enjoy spending time with their grandchildren, Payson and Camden, traveling, hiking, and camping. They're avid Youth Exchange and Rotary Foundation supporters and Paul Harris Society fellows and Bequest Society members. Renee leverages her expertise as a nonprofit leader and professional development consultant, along with her educational background, including an MBA from Kennedy Western University, to lead and inspire members in our district to serve in deep and meaningful ways. Her mission is to make a difference in the lives of others. Her vision is to be the change she wants to see. Her core values of embracing belief, responsibility, lifelong learning, empathy, and service guide her as our district governor. Please join me in welcoming our district governor, Renee Brouse.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. First, I want to thank you for the sunshine. You ordered it up just for me, right? Since I had to drive over. I'm so thankful for it. It makes the drive over here so much more pleasant. It's beautiful, all the scenery, so thank you for that. It's hard to believe that we're only a few months away from the end of the 23-24 Rotary year. I know Janine's excited to serve in 24-25. But several months ago, when I started this journey, I walked into a club meeting. I was there early to set up. And one of the charter members walked up to me, shook my hand, and says, "So Renee, you're here for your propaganda speech, huh?" Now, you're all probably thinking it, right? So I laughed, took it as a joke, but then I do what I normally do. I reflected. And I thought, wow, is that really what you guys think when the district governor comes to your club? That we're going to propagandize, we'll probably talk about membership and the Rotary Foundation? You can shake your head, I know, been there, done that, right? Although those two topics are extremely important for today and in the future of Rotary, that's not my intent. I like to hear the good things that you're doing. I took some notes on my phone as you were talking, because those things inspire, and they're great to hear the good work that you're doing in your community. I also hope that what I share might inspire or motivate you to think about things a little bit differently. Maybe step outside the proverbial box, maybe augment the good work you're already doing. You see, I believe that in Rotary and in life, there are a number of intersections. Intersections that have the ability to impact not only the life of a single individual, but also to change communities. So I want you to imagine a young girl who was raised in a household with a number of disadvantages. Single parent, the father wasn't in the picture, there were drugs in the house, there was abuse, and the family had very little resources. But this young lady realized that she had a resiliency that lived inside of her. And if she set goals for herself, she wasn't stuck in those circumstances. She could see, she could imagine a different future. And she had hope that things would be different. And they were. She graduated from high school at the top of her class and a full ride scholarship to the university that she dreamt of. One of those scholarships was a 4-year scholarship from the Rotary Club. That was her first intersection with Rotary. Now imagine that same young lady 20 years down the road. She's in a new community, new city, new state, she has a new job, and her supervisor says, "Join Rotary." That's how you connect to the community. So like a good employee, she did. She joined Rotary. And within 5 years, she was leading a team of Rotarians on their first international service trip. Her second intersection with Rotary. Two very distinct yet powerful intersections. One, changing the course of her education, giving her the funds to attend university. And the second was where she learned the width, the breadth, the power, the scope of Rotary and the Rotary Foundation, because that's the money that we contribute that comes back to us and allows us to do the projects that we do locally and internationally. That young lady happened to be me. And while I am incredibly grateful for the Auburn Rotary Club for seeing the leader in me and giving me that opportunity, I'm also a bit chagrined because it took over 20 years before I found Rotary again. Then we'll come back to that. What I can say with all certainty is I've seen with my eyes what the work that you and I can do locally, but also internationally. My home club in Sherwood and a club in Newburgh have had a partnership with a club in La Plata, Huila, Colombia for 13 years. 13 years we have been making a difference in that community, one project at a time. From water filtration systems, computers to a local school, we took used turnout coats from local TBF&R fire station. We had these big red bags, 50 of them fit in I think 5 bags. And we took them, we gave them to the bomberos there, because when they fight fire, they jump into the water and off they go. Now they have at least some protective gear. We've installed over 125 septic systems and several other projects. Again, changing that community, one project at a time. The upcoming project will be a center for adults and children with disabilities. Can't wait to see that one up and running. It's going to be fantastic. But that connection, that international presence, and the ability to make a difference in that community is my why of Rotary. That is why I stay in Rotary, is that ability. I also believe that we each have what I call the why behind the what. Have any of you read Simon Sinek's Start With Why? Okay, over here. It's a great book. I love it because it really establishes the premise of understanding why we do what we do and how important that is. And it has a practical reason for Rotary as well. But I understood my why when I was still back in Indiana. I served in the YMCA movement for 21 years, and 10 of those were in Indiana. Throughout those years, I watched as a number of kids, they learned and they grew and they thrived in the YMCA environment. One kid in particularly still has a piece of my heart. His name was Dalton. Dalton, like me, had a number of disadvantages that he was struggling against. ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, single-parent household. He had a sensory deprivation that if you touched him, he would respond with outbursts. And as Dalton grew older, his outbursts of behavior worsened. Now I want you to think a minute. If I were to ask you, who were the last 5 Nobel Peace Prize winners, could you tell me without looking it up? If I asked you who won the most, what are those awards that we give to superstars? The Emmys. Who were the past 5 Emmy Award winners? Could you tell me? But if I asked you, who are the teachers that you remember making the most impact on your life? Could you tell me who those people are? We remember the people who have the impact, right? Well, I learned my mission from that 7-year-old kid. Because when Dalton had outbursts, he started at the Y when he was 5 months old. By the time I left, he was 7. So when he had outbursts, yours truly was called to the scene to either take care of it or he was brought to me. And using my adult lenses, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this kid's got to want to run when he sees me coming. But I learned one summer afternoon that he had a different feeling. He and his family had gone to the Carolinas for a vacation. They came back. I was in my office. There was a knock on my door. And there stood Dalton and his sister Megan and his mom. And apparently while on vacation, Dalton wanted to go and find something to bring back for Miss Renee, me. And they proceeded to hand me this shell. And yes, you can still hear the ocean in it. But this is my reminder of my why. Because according to Dalton, in his worst days, I showed up. I was consistency, I was compassion, I was love and grace. This is my reminder of that, because my overall mission is to make a difference in the lives of others through positive impact. So this sits in my office on the shelf as that reminder. Except for this year, it's traveling in my backpack as a prop for all of you. I share this story because I believe that we each have a why. And how that relates back to Rotary is if we can figure out why people join Rotary, what their passion is, we can connect to it and hopefully keep them. So ask people why they want to join and consider asking people why they stay. Now you might recall 2 years ago, Jim Boyle came to visit. Jim was all excited because he talked about FIRE. Not the kind you put out with a hose, but the FIRE acronym. You know how we love acronyms in Rotary, right? FIRE stands for flexibility, impact, reach, and engagement. Now you're probably asking me why I'm talking about Jim. Well, the reason why is because we talk a lot in the district about succession planning and continuity of service, continuity of planning, and we want to model that at the district level on the governor line. So Jim started the action plan that is relevant to not only us as a district, but Rotary International, and we're continuing that plan forward. The newest version is out, presidents have it, so if you want to use pieces of it, we're encouraging you to do so, and as Janine takes the seat as district governor, she'll be encouraging you as well. It's incredibly important to our future. You might recall last year, when Steve was here, he talked about imagining Rotary, because that was the theme. So when you imagine Rotary, what do you imagine? And that's a question to you. What do you imagine?
Polio-free.
Polio-free. Ooh, that's a great thing to imagine. We're so close. What else?
Connected communities.
Connected communities. Important. Huh? Give me back. Give me back, yeah. What else?
Scholarships.
Scholarships, yeah. So there's so many things that we do as Rotarians in our Rotary clubs. As I sat back and watched, I'm a sociologist, I think, at heart. I like to watch people and study why they do what they do. And as I was watching the conversation, what I saw happening is the focus became on who was going to sit around the table, who were going to be the next Rotarians. And what that caused for me was a little bit of angst, because I started to think about, what about the people who are already here? It's a yes and, not an either or. We'll come back to that too. This year, our theme is Create Hope in the World. Had the opportunity to go to Orlando over a year ago and sit in International Assembly. It's one of the best experiences ever. 650 of your closest friends, you're in the room as they announce the theme. Lots of applause, lots of celebration, lots of excitement. And then about 5 minutes later, Gordon announces the newest initiative, the mental health initiative. There were a lot of tears because he shared how his brother committed suicide. I'm particularly excited about the mental health initiative. As someone who struggles with depression, I'm excited that an organization like Rotary has stood up and taken the challenge. So I'm hoping you'll join us. I created an acronym. It's HOPE. H is for health. If we are to serve and serve well, we need to be healthy. Not just in spirit and healthy in body, but in mind as well. So at the district level, we've started a mental health committee. It's being chaired by Sally Graydon and Nancy Boyle. And they've got a great group of people that have already joined, and they're rocking and rolling. So I'm looking forward to what they'll do in the district. We also started a mental health action group at the district level, so they've joined that and are creating energy around that. If you have any interest, please let me know and we'll get you connected. But more importantly, what can you do in your own community with the initiative of mental health? And that's what I'll leave you with for the letter H. O is for opportunities. Quite frankly, folks, I see opportunity everywhere. To the chagrin of some, because with opportunities, what comes? Change. And we all know that there's some hesitancy about change. So what I can say is that I won't stop seeing opportunities. That's just kind of my innate, it's built inside of me, but I'll help manage the change. What I encourage you all is, what are the opportunities in Forest Grove that are out there, to see them and seize them, because that's where the real difference is made in your community. P is for peace, specifically peace through partnerships. We can do so much better, more together. I think it was said over here somewhere. If we can join forces with other organizations, other Rotary clubs, we can do more. So what are those partners out there that you might be able to share time, talents, and treasures with to make a difference in your community? And E is engagement. I alluded to it a little bit ago when I said it's about the Rotarians that are coming in as well as the Rotarians that are already around the table, so creating relevancy for both, understanding those stories and the why. So a couple of other things that we're looking at the district is creating a resource hub that will be on the website, and Brandon Peterson is taking up the website and the PI committee, so that resource hub will have things like service projects, fundraising, templates, technology support. But guess who are the experts? It's you guys. So it's clubs sharing with clubs. I'm really excited about that opportunity to come. We're reinvigorating the vocational committee. We've reinvigorated the membership committee. PI committee's coming, and we're also looking at establishing a service committee. So if you have any interested in any of that, let us know. Now, about, it's been 3 years ago, 4 years ago? I don't know, it's been a long time. A few years ago, when I was at, 3 years ago, I was at a Rotary Club, and it was Newburgh and Sherwood and the La Plata Rotarians on Zoom. And we were celebrating our 10th anniversary, 10 years of serving community together. And they also announced that I was going to be serving as your district governor nominee designate. In other words, serving in 23-24. A gentleman standing right about where Tom's at stood up, looks at me, and says, "Renee, don't be a boring district governor." Tom, would you say that to me? Anyway, it was one of those moments again. What the heck do you do with that? So I kind of shook it off and smiled at him like, okay. But inside, because I'm very competitive with myself, inside I'm thinking, okay, John, game on. You've just issued a challenge to me. So I started thinking about ways that we could make this year fun. I like music. I'm a kickboxer. My favorite kickboxing song is the Rocky theme song. So I thought, well, what if I were to use that as an introduction song or something? And I didn't really think that that'd go over well with most of the audience, so I nixed it. But I was at a club a couple weeks ago. Guess what? They played it for me. They do have this thing where they play music for the speakers, whatever their genre is, so he played the whole Rocky soundtrack for me. It was so exciting. I almost broke out in the kickboxing routine. But anyway, so I nixed that, and I started thinking about something else. What else could we do that makes it a little bit fun? And I went down through the dictionary, trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to call my newsletter that I'm supposed to write each month? And found rambling. Did you know there's a song for that? I'll only play a few parts. Almost there. I'm writing out to the Rotary clubs in about enough of that. Anyway, that was penned by Casey Hosteller. She's a young Rotarian out of Newburgh. She was helping me create a little bit of fun, right? So there's your music, we tied in music. She also did a couple of other things for me. Rambling means two different things. Rambling is somebody who likes to talk a lot. Really, that is not me. I like to listen. So I changed the definition slightly. It's somebody who likes to motivate and inspire and tell stories to help others become Rotarians. The second definition is somebody who likes to travel. I love to travel. International service is my passion. So you can have up to 2 award winners per club. Actually, I've given them out to more. But anyway, I asked the president to share with me 2 individuals who might fit that definition. So I'm going to ask in just a second that 2 of you come up here. Casey also put this together for me. It's had a hard life. So she created this pen. This pen is District 5100. So Southwest Washington, from the coast all the way to Eastern Oregon, with my yellow Jeep that's kind of become this thing with the Rotary symbol on the back. So this is the Ramblin' Award, and I'm going to ask Jim, Chris, and Tom Bragg to come up. And so in just a second, we'll take a picture with this frame. So Jim, I heard a little bit from you when you were talking over there. You are Mr. Fundraiser, I hear. And we can't do what we do as Rotarians without those of us that go out and raise funds or champion them. So thank you for being the fundraiser, the fundraising champion for your club.
Well, thank you.
Now hold still. Now Tom has been in Rotary for a number of years as well, and he's been the champion of the, I'm not going to say it right, Corps d'Elegance? Concours d'Elegance. And that is recognized because that's a huge event that you're putting on as a club, you as a chair. So thank you for all that you're doing there.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So.
Yay.
Yes, thank you. All right.
Jim, get a picture.
You gotta have a picture with me.
Got the whole here.
We have to put our faces in this
Yeah.
frame.
There you go.
Get in there, Jim.
Give it up for 1, 2, 3. All right.
Now, if my grandson would be here, this would be part of his fun. So let me explain this. This is bobblehead Renee. Her head doesn't bobble very well. But for International Assembly, our zones had to create a bobblehead that reflected each one of us. And so that's where the Jeep came from, because I drive a yellow Jeep. So when Kyson, my 4-year-old grandson, visits with me, he's gone to a few Rotary clubs. He brings the Jeep out and revs it up and drives it across the floor. It gives a little bit of entertainment for all the Rotarians. That's the fun, folks. All right. Before I wrap up my rambling thoughts, are there any questions, comments, or concerns that you'd like to share with me?
Open floor.
Open floor, it's all yours.
How can we support Janine in her year as district governor?
Good. Hey, nice.
Good one, good one.
Be there for her.
Clean her house.
Yeah, clean your house. No, you know what? It's different for each district governor. For me, it was nice to know that my club was still there. They're operating. I could call and talk to them. I could show up and just be me, not worry about having to be the district governor and being proper or correct or all that goes into that. But talk to her, ask her what she needs, what her wants are, and how you can support her. Great question. For my club, actually, they went to the district governor nights. So they went to the pre-district governor gatherings to learn about what was in store if I were selected, so that they were armed and ready to support where needed. And the district conference, the gathering that you're going to have, she'll need support there. Shoot for the moon, all great ways to support.
A winning football team.
A winning. Okay, yeah, that too. Great question. What else?
The mental health initiative that you're running, where do you find more information about what's happening on the website?
It's on the website. It's all, well, it should be on the website. And I don't want to say that with 100% certainty that it's there yet. But in the newsletter, Sally and Nancy are writing different articles. Also, send me an email and I'll connect you to the two of them as well. Janine can do the same. What else? Anything?
I think that one thing that goes unmarked is how much work goes into being the district governor. And the primary job, the work we do every day, because we do Rotary every day, is to try to make the club successful. And Renee has done a fabulous job of reinvigorating, as the term she used, our membership committee at the district level by putting us into a pilot project so that we can drive new people into the clubs by the promotion of Rotary, and the fact that she was able to put together the right people at the right moment for this Rotary Action Group for mental health in our district. And to my knowledge, in the Pacific Northwest, we're the only district with this resource that's available to the clubs. And so, as a regular Rotarian, not the district governor-elect, I think it's important to acknowledge all the work that Renee has done and that we give her a round of applause.
It's a team, guys. It's a team. It's people like you out there that are willing to take up those projects and help with encouragement and motivation. So thank you for that, Janine. Other questions or comments?
I have a comment.
Yes, dear.
I don't know Sally, but you were mentioned on the team. I do know Nancy Boyle, and we have met Nancy Boyle, so we have a face. She was the head of social services for OHSU. She just retired from there, so she has a wealth of information to share with us.
And there are at least 13 people that are a part of that committee that have as much or more as information. So we're in good hands with Allstate, as they would say. We're in good hands with Rotary District 15.
Might get in trouble if Janine.
Hey, it's just a phrase. No offense meant. Anything else? Okay. If something comes up, let me know. Do want to announce one Rotary Conference celebration. If you've not signed up, there's still an opportunity. It's in beautiful Hood River. The weather will be even better than
Who
this.
signed up?
Yeah.
Would
Awesome.
you share with this club the vision for the transference of the banner that will occur? I think it's going to be Sunday. Is that correct?
Correct. It'll be Sunday.
Could you explain that to the club so they understand their part in that tradition?
So this is the way you can help. Traditionally, what happens at the conference is there's a transfer of the banner. Last year was a little different, so for those of you who were there, but this year what will happen is the two clubs, so whoever's there, clubs and family members, will come up onto the stage together, and there's literally, we create like a line and then we pass the banner down. So it would start from my club, and it'll transfer all the way down, and then hand it off to Janine, and then hand it down to the rest of the club members, because it's your club is celebrating the fact that Janine is your district governor. So having people there is an important aspect. It'll be the morning session on Sunday, so that's where we're going to do the celebrations, and we'll have a great speaker that day, and we'll do the handoff, if you will. It will also be an opportunity it's the business meeting, so we'll vote in the new resolution and then the budget. So please consider attending. People asked me at the start of this, what is the celebration? Who are we celebrating? We're celebrating you, celebrating the clubs. So I've been keeping some notes, and we're going to make some fun certificates, some fun awards, and celebrate what you guys are doing. And then there's some other, the typical awards as well. So that's who we're celebrating. It'll be lots of fun. The Friday night, which is the 26th to the 28th. Friday night is the Youth Exchange Talent Show. So there'll be lots of youth talent.
She's a
Yeah,
big part of it.
awesome. We have 6 of my Colombian family coming, so they're going to share some Colombian dance as well. Great speakers, wonderful workshops on Friday and Saturday. We'll have a pub crawl for those of you who are into that on Friday. Saturday night will be a dance party, so hopefully you'll be out on the floor dancing with me. No? Oh, she's saying no. So that'll be Saturday night, but it's all about fun and celebration and learning. Anything else? Is last year's president here?
Oh, Janet, no, she's not.
Okay, you guys contributed to the In Polio Now. So this will happen to you too, Janine. About December or January, a big box will arrive on your doorstep with lots of certificates and banners and such. And it's our opportunity to get them out to the clubs.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you for contributing to the
You guys.
In Polio Now. All right, so let me wrap up my ramblings. I started by sharing with you my story. That young girl who the Rotary Club of Auburn, Indiana, saw something in me and invested in my future. And I shared that it took 20 years to refine Rotary. Now I own some of that. I should have stayed in contact, but the Rotary Club owns some of it too. My encouragement to you is to, when you're connected with young people like this, or the interactors, anybody else, they're our future. They're the future of our communities and they're the future of Rotary. It's up to us to figure out how to stay in contact with them. That's your first point. The second point, know your story. Learn the stories of others and engage in that story. Find the relevancy, because I think that's really where the connection is. If we can tap into that story and the passion, we can grow Rotary. Third, continue to have fun. It sounds like from what I can see, you guys have great fun in this club. Keep doing what you're doing and enjoy your time as Rotarian. And lastly, let's continue to create hope in the world. Thank you all for what you're doing.